Hello guys, welcome to another Power Pack session on the subject of anesthesia on this wonderful YouTube channel of Unacademy Need PG. All those who are new here, let me tell you, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon before we begin and kickstart with our session today. To give you a brief intro, I am Dr. Hitesh Nathani. I am the mentor, educator, your friend for the subject of anesthesia on this wonderful platform of Unacademy. I've been teaching the NEET PG aspirants, the FMG aspirants since last more than 5 years now. I've done my DA and DNB in anesthesiology and I'm a practicing consultant neuroanesthesiologist. Yes, where can you find me on the Unacademy NEET PG app? This is a link for the free special class that I have taken. You can click on the link. You can go through this Achievers Club that we have taken for the subject of anesthesia, where we have discussed a lot of MCQs, quiz-based questions, along with the highly important topics that can be coming up for the upcoming FMG examinations. Yes, before we begin today's session, let me tell you on the Unacademy, there is a quiz which is going on every day at 9 p.m. Those who are targeting the NEET PG 2020. Yes, there are a set of questions every night at 9 p.m. It is a live quiz where you get to attend the test live. Along with that, you get the results immediately. Yes, so no wonderful platform than assessing yourself live every day with number of questions and quizzes which are there. And for those who are there targeting the upcoming NEET PG 2021 examination, we have got the same live quiz which is going on for the NEET PG 2021 aspirants at 8 p.m. Yes, so you can assess yourself live all over the world where all the aspirants are there preparing for the examinations, and you can compete with them and get yourself assessed every day live at 8 p.m. And yes, from here on, you can download the Unacademy Learning app on the Play Store. In that, go to the NEET PG category. In that, you will see a number of free special classes as well as the other plus subscriber courses which are going on, batch courses which are going on the Unacademy platform. Yes, you can subscribe to that platform using my code, which is Dr. Hitesh-YT or Dr. Hitesh. On that NEET PG platform, you can subscribe for right from 1 month up to 12 to 24 to 36 months as well. And yes, after using the code, you will get an extra 10% off using my code. The one very important thing that Unacademy has come up is the iconic subscription. In that, you will get the best of both worlds. That is Unacademy subscription as well as Prep Ladder subscription. Yes, you will have the benefits of live classes which no one else can beat in this category. Along with that, you will have the recorded sessions of the Prep Ladder. Yes, there will be live T&D quizzes which are going on the Unacademy platform, and yes, you can have the best of rapid revisions and QBank of the Prep Ladder. Yes, how do you subscribe for the Unacademy? This is present either as 1 month, 1 year, 1.5 years, 2 and 3 years subscription. You can use the code Dr. Hitesh and you can subscribe to the iconic subscription to get the best of both the worlds. So let us begin with our today's session for the FMG Recoil 2019 questions. The first question is there on your screen right now. Which of the following is used for day care surgeries? Options are ketamine, thiopentone, propofol, etomidate. Yes, which of the following is used for day care surgeries? If you look at the options, all the options belong to IV induction agent group. Yes, so there is no need for us to differentiate between IV, inhalational and so on and so forth. One thing. So other thing that the examiner is trying to ask us is about the daycare surgeries, which is the best possible drug among the following which can be used for daycare surgeries. Daycare surgeries actually means what? As the name itself suggests, yes, we have all heard some of our relatives, some of our cousins, sisters, some friends, young siblings or daughters or their children are put nowadays because of the working profile. Their sons or daughters are their children are going for the daycare. Yes, that is what we call it. Of course, because of pandemic now it's closed. But before we have heard the term where daycare, it is mostly where the working professionals drop their kids to a daycare center where from morning to evening they are being taken care of. At night they again get them back. Same way for surgery, it is the same term that is used. Yes, you go to the hospital in the morning. get yourself operated, and come back by evening or by night at home. That is known as daycare surgeries. Yes, which of the following anesthetics are used for daycare surgeries, particularly the short acting anesthetic agents? Yes, we used all the short acting anesthetic agents, one, and also which have got better profiles in terms of lesser side effects. Yes, these are the kinds of anesthetic agents that we use. So among the following, ketamine, thiopentone, propofol, and etoposide. Yes, thiopentone is automatically ruled out because it has got a longer duration of action as compared to the other three. One. Second, thiopentone, the awareness or the post-op recovery is not that great. It is a little groggy that the patient wakes up. So it is ruled out. Along with that, the side effect profile of thiopentone is worse than that of propofol and etoposide. So it is out of question. Coming to ketamine, propofol and etoposide, which is better? Ketamine has got a very bad side effects in terms of hallucinations. Yes, and particularly in adults or for any cases, we try and avoid ketamine because of this one very dreaded side effect, that is hallucination. It is a dissociative anesthesia. Yes, it causes dissociative anesthesia which leads to hallucination. So we try and avoid ketamine as much as possible in today's scenario. Coming between propofol and etoposide, etoposide has got other side effects in terms of it has not got a beneficial effect of antiemetic as compared to propofol, because propofol, one, it has got a very clear-headed recovery. What do you mean by clear-headed recovery? Yes, it means that the patient feels that his or she has just woken up from a normal sleep. That is known as clear-headed recovery. Yes, there is no hangover of the drug, nothing of that sort. Along with that, the better profile of propofol, along with its antiemetic property, gets its an added advantage as compared to etoposide, which has got other side effects in terms of myoclonus, or it causes suppression of your adrenal glands. So corticosteroid is suppressed for almost 8 hours. So yes, propofol is the drug of choice when it comes to IV induction agents for daycare surgeries. Moving on to the next question, guys. Spinal anesthesia in adults is given at what level? Option A is T12 level, L1. Option B is L1, L2. Option C is L3, L4. Option D is L5, S1. Spinal anesthesia in adult is given at what level? So spinal anesthesia, guys, as we have already discussed in central uraxial blockade, two types are what? It is either epidural or spinal. Yes, that is subarachnoid block. In that also we have discussed that epidural can be given at all the levels, whereas spinal can be given only at the level after the spinal cord ends. Yes, why? Because you are actually piercing the arachnoid matter here. After the dura mater, you are piercing the arachnoid matter and going into the subarachnoid space, which is your end point where you get the CSF as a confirmatory sign. So spinal can only be given below the level, that is the spinal cord ends after that level, whereas epidural can be given anywhere. Yes, it is a segmental block that we have called it. Yes, it can cause segmental block. You can give it thoracic, you can give it lumbar, you can even give it cervical at some times. So where is the spinal cord ending? If you know that, you will come to know the answer for this. Yes, spinal cord ends at the level of L1-2, that is lower border of L1 or upper border of L2. So below this level is where you will give spinal anesthesia. So option A and option B are ruled out. Now regarding option C and D, L3, L4 or L5, S1, which is the better choice here? Yes, L3, L4 is the best space that you can use for giving spinal anesthesia because of its easier anatomical location and marking. L5, S1 is also preferred in some cases, but it is not that much of a use as compared to L3, L4. Yes, below L1, L2, any space can be used. Yes, L2, L3 in some cases, L3, 4, L4, 5, L5, S1, anything. But L5, S1 and below that, it usually leads to that we call as a caudal and all those things, yes, and sacral hiatus and all those things, where we go and give the caudal anesthesia. Yes, so this is also ruled out. Best space that you can go for is L3, L4 for spinal anesthesia, because L2, L3, you just want to be sure that you are not touching or entering the spinal cord, so you avoid that space also just to increase your chances of safety. Therefore, L3, L4 is more preferred. Moving on to the next question. Color of nitrous oxide cylinder is. Yes, cylinder is one of the very important topics when it comes to anesthesia. We have discussed it time and again when we have discussed anesthesia machine and the cylinders. We have discussed the color coding. We have discussed the pin index system safety feature of cylinders. So here what it is asking, it is asking about nitrous oxide color. Yes, options are blue, blue body with white shoulder, white or black. As you know, we have discussed the mnemonic and tips and tricks for this thing. Nitrous oxide, how do we remember that? What is the trick? It starts with N. N in Hindi, it starts with Neela, right? So Neela starts with N, nitrous oxide starts with N, and Neela means blue in color, right? So nitrous oxide color is, cylinder color is blue in color. That is how we have remembered all the mnemonics for cylinders. Yes, this is one of those that we have remembered. One more easy thing to remember is by way of images of cylinders. Yes, that is how you will remember the colors of all the cylinders. Moving on to the next question. In CPR, the number of chest compressions per minute in adults is. CPR was a question which we have discussed in our just previous videos. It was a question which was asked just a year prior as well. Yes. So the topic, as I have told you time and again, always remains the same. What changes is the questions on that topic. So always you have to master the topic. And CPR has been asked almost every year in the FMG examinations. So this is one topic which you cannot afford to miss before going for the exam. In CPR, the number of chest compressions per minute in adults is. Options are 3 to 50 per minute, 50 to 72 per minute. Option C is 100 to 120 per minute or 120 to 200 per minute. Yes, as per the 2015 guidelines, in which there were major changes overall in CPR, one of the major changes was in the chest compression rate as well. The chest compression rate before that was minimum 100 can be given, but in 2015 guidelines it was very specifically mentioned that the chest compression rate has to be between 100 and 120, no less than 100, no more than 120. Your chest compression rate has to be 100 to 120. What it is asking? It is asking in adults. If it was in children or in neonates, still your chest compression rate would be same. Be it adults, be it children, be it neonates, the chest compression rate in CPR is always 100 to 120 per minute. The correct answer here is option C, that is 100 to 120 per minute is the chest compression rate in CPR, whether it is adult, pediatric or neonatal population, your chest compression rates remain the same. Thank you guys.